Hey guys, it's Savannah and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is some fun red, white, and blue Dollar Tree farmhouse DIYs. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, for our first DIY, and definitely one of my favorites from today, remember in my last video, I had 3 of these and I cut them down to size. Well, I'm using the other pieces that were on the other side. So they're just like some scrap wood pieces. One of them broke, so I'm just hot gluing that one back together. And then we are gonna start painting these. So I'm painting the smallest one in Waverly. I believe it's Ocean, not Pool. I think it's Ocean. And it took a couple coats. I guess I never learned from my mistakes. I probably should have painted the red one and the blue one white first, but it is what it is. And so I just painted this one, dried it, painted it until I covered all of the words on the front and I got it a good, even coat. Then moving on to the tall one. Now again, this was chalk paint and this one it took the longest. So I wish I would have just painted it white and then did it. But once I already painted it, I was just determined to finish it. So I would definitely recommend if you're gonna paint these or recreate these, definitely paint them white first and then go back in with your colors. But it ended up working out. I just did a coat, dried it, with my heat gun, a coat, dried it, heat, got, so on and so forth. Then for the middle one, we're going in with some white Waverly chalk paint. Now, this is so confusing to me. The white covered the black amazingly, but the red didn't. I don't know. Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense to me. So this one only needed like 2 coats on the front because it did cover the black pretty well. So that's all I'm doing for this one. I'm just going in, painting the back, the front, all of it. Usually I don't care about the back, but for these particular pieces, I did want to paint everything. Then I'm just going to go in with my little finger sander and I'm just sanding down the edges, pulling some of that white out and making it look worn, like these pieces are old. So that's all I'm doing there. And I focus on the corners and bringing out the corners where things would normally, paint would chip. And then I'm going in with my antique Waverly wax and my chip brush, and I'm just kind of feathering out on the edges, making this look old and rustic as well. And then next I'm taking the brush that I did the white with and just kind of dry brushing over the blue as well. And I just really feel like it brought the piece out. So I'm doing the same thing for the red one. I decided to kind of do it like backwards. So I did the white, sanded it down, and then I distressed it. And then I don't know why I didn't paint that part. So I'm going in and fixing that. But yeah, so you're just going to repeat that step, kind of dry brush with the white, go in with your chip brush, distress it, and then sand it down and get these to look like old, worn pieces that you've had for a while. And then I feel like the white really did just bring this whole thing together because I love distressing white pieces. So this one was a lot simpler. All I did was just take my antique Waverly wax and just feather on the corners, on the edges, and in the middle of it. And it really did just look, I don't know. This is definitely my favorite from today. I feel like these are such a cute little accent piece you could put anywhere in your house. So once they were all painted, I was kind of playing around with the placement. How did I want them to lay? Did I want them to like kind of just be together or kind of like staggered? I end up doing them just flat and together and making them a bunch. Because I wanted to hot glue these and I didn't think there was going to be a way to hot glue it with them being staggered, if that makes sense, without it looking weird. So I did just decide to go with them, side to side, and then the blue one hot glued on top, just so that I knew that they wouldn't move anywhere. So, and then before I do that, once I figured out what I wanted to do, I took some Dollar Tree nautical rope and I kind of just tied off a knot and then cut the bottom and then hot glued the knot to the top of the red. And we're going to repeat that for all of them. And then I just unraveled the rope itself And I'll go back in and unravel it a little bit more so they look a little bit more, you know, unraveled. But then I repeat that step for the white one and then the same for the blue one. So just tie a knot, cut it off, hot glue it to the top, and then unravel the rope. And these are so cute. And if you haven't guessed, they're little firecrackers. I don't know. I just love these, and I thought it was a good idea because I already had the scrap wood around anyways, and I wanted to do something for like Memorial Day and 4th of July, and I just think these are such cute DIYs. They're super simple, but they turn out absolutely adorable. And now we're going to hot glue them together. So this is what I was talking about. I just decided to do them like side by side. So I'm taking the white and the red and putting some hot glue on the white, and I am just putting those two sides together and making sure that it's, you know, flush with each bottom so they stand up, and just holding it until it's good. And then I'm going to take the blue and put some hot glue on that one and lay that right in the middle of the red and the white one. And then next I'm taking a thing of jute and I'm just going to lay it on the top, like, you know, lay the firecrackers on top of the jute, pull it tight in the middle. I was just going to double knot it, but sometimes I feel like it's easier just to lay a little bit of hot glue under where you like pull it tight and it just holds it there so it doesn't become loose. And so that's usually what I'd like to do. Then once I got those on there, I'm just taking some raffia and folding them over and over until I get a bow, and then I'm going to take some jute and tie that off in the middle, and then I'm going to split it, make it look a little fuller, and then we're going to hot glue that to the middle of the jute. Then I just took my chip brush and kind of just like pounced on top of the, you know, the raffia to kind of make it look a little bit old and worn as well, so that the piece really just went together. And again, I love how this turned out. I think it's so simple and so cute, and I made it all with Dollar Tree items. If you're new to my channel, I'm Savannah, and I love doing high-end Dollar Tree DIYs, or honestly, anything DIY on a budget, thrift flips, anything that will save this girl a buck. That is what I'm into, and that is what is on this channel. So if that's something you're into, I hope that you stick around, hit that subscribe button. Also, follow me over on Instagram at Savvy Crafts with Savannah. That's where I can feel like I can be a little bit more personal with you guys. Also, if you want to support my channel, there is a link in my description box. It means so much to me, but also another way to support it is liking, sharing, and commenting on all of my videos. It really does mean so much to me. I adore each and every one of you, and I look forward to your comments every video. All right, let's get back into the crafts. This next DIY is super simple. I actually had something else in mind, but once I got halfway through what I was doing, I loved how it turned out, so I just decided to leave them. So I'm taking actually it's a one set of these little boxes, so one big, one medium, one small, and I'm taking a screwdriver and I'm removing all of the hardware, but make sure you save it and set it to the side because we are going to use it when we are done. But super self-explanatory, not much to it. Get a screwdriver and remove the screws. Then I took my heat gun and I held it on top of the stickers, obviously, to pull the stickers off. Now, they still leave a sticky residue, so I do have to end up standing over it. If you don't have a heat gun, you can always use a lighter, a hair dryer. I mean, whatever works for you. But I was super fortunate, had actually two awesome subscribers send me heat guns. So thank you guys. I love it. I use it all the time now. So moving on, we're going to take that same pool and we are going to paint the small one. And look how pretty this blue is on camera. I don't think I really took in how pretty this color was, but it looks really, really good. I don't know. Maybe it's the brush that I'm using too, because it just looks really smooth. I don't know. Pat myself on the back. Just kidding. Thanks, paint. Okay, yeah, so we're just going in. You can paint the inside of it if you want to. You're not going to see that in these little pieces, so that didn't bother me. We're all extra in some way, so if that's something you want to do, definitely go for it. And then we're just going to repeat, basically same thing for all three of them. The bigger one is going to be red. I don't know when you say like red, white, and blue. So that's kind of what I went with. I went with like big, medium, small. So that's how I painted them. So the big one is going to be red. And I just did one coat because, again, I didn't mind that wood showing through. This is Crimson by Waverly, I believe. I think. I'm not sure. But they only have like one red. They have a couple blues. So the pool is kind of a light blue. I know I said that a minute ago, but I used Ocean and then just their regular white. So yeah, I'm just going in, covering this whole thing like I did the small one. And yeah, pretty simple. And then once that one was done, of course, we're going to paint the middle one white. I told you this DIY is super simple, but these look really high end. I feel like when I'm done with them, these look high end in general. I just feel like these are really cute pieces, especially from the Dollar Tree. I would put these in my house without even doing anything to them. So once the white was painted, then we're going to go back to our blue once it's dry, and we are going to distress it with some antique Waverly wax. Again, like all other pieces, just focusing on the edges, the sides, the corners, and then just a little bit in the middle. And then, like the firecrackers, I did just take some of that white brush and just dry brush over the blue as well. And I feel like it adds just more dimension, and it really makes these pieces look so cute. I don't know. I love how these turned out. And I don't normally decorate for like patriotic holidays, but I'm definitely going to have to now. I have all this cute stuff. So then I just repeated that for that, and then I put the hardware back on. And so I'll tell you my other idea. My original idea when I started this was to paint all of them and then put USA, like little letters on the back of them, and just have them kind of like stand up. But you'll see towards the end, before I do that, I'm like, these just look amazing without anything. So they're super plain and a super simple, DIY, but I love how they turned out. Since I blabbered through the first part of that, you're just going to go and do the same thing that we did to the blue. You're just going to distress the corners just a little bit, just to add some little more dimension and color. And then, of course, take the white and dry brush over the red a little bit as well. And then we are going to put the hardware back on. And then once that one was done, we're moving on to the white one. Again, when you distress this one, I feel like it really just brings out the rustic in the other pieces, because you can't see much of the distressing in the other pieces. But once you put the white with it, it really does just bring it out. I'm not going to show you much of my distressing on this one because it's super simple, and I did it with the other two. And then we are going to put the hardware back on this one. And this is where I kind of just loved how they looked just by themselves. I don't know, kind of just staggered and stacked on top of each other. I really just feel like these are a cute little statement. So I left them as is. Let me know what you guys think. And then for our last red, white, and blue DIY, this one kind of just fell together. Like I just started crafting and it came out this way. And it's probably one of my favorites too. I love all these today just because they're super simple and really pretty. So I'm taking this was actually a sign from the Dollar Tree, so you could use any of their square signs. This one had like laundry on it. I was going to use it for another DIY and ended up not. So even though I'm going to cover the middle, I did want it to all be cohesive because you could see where I ripped off the laundry part. So I'm just taking some white Waverly chalk paint and I'm painting the whole sign, the sides, everything, just to get like an even coat to have like a blank canvas. Then I'm taking my wood buttons. I get these from Walmart in the sewing section, and I'm just picking out 4 that are the same size. I didn't care if they looked the same, but I just needed them to be around the same size, and I set those to the side. And then I'm taking some of this burlap a roll of burlap. I get this from Walmart in like their floral section, and I'm measuring out the sign and I'm cutting that piece off. Now, before we put it on, we're gonna add a little extra something to this sign, okay? So I normally, when I distress with, you know, brown, obviously, or black or something, you know, but we are going to go in with blue and kind of feather out on the top of the sign. So I'm taking a chip brush and some blue, and I'm just doing how I would normally distress, maybe a little bit heavier so that you can see that blue. And I do that on the top, and then I do that on the bottom. And then we're going to go in with some red paint and do the same things on the side. And I kind of just played around with the color and everything until I got it how I liked it. I did go back in over with some antique Waverly wax to bring some of that brown out and make it look old, and then I sanded things down, and I really think this sign turned out so stinking cute. So you'll have to let me know what you guys think when it's finished, obviously. Now we're going to take our little burlap piece, and I kind of pull some of the, like, I don't know, the excess off so that it kind of looks like old, and I don't know. I don't even know how to explain that. You know what I mean. I'm pulling some off so that it looks like the burlap has frayed out a little bit and looks old. Then I'm going to lay that in the middle over where that like laundry sign would have been. And then I'm going to hot glue the buttons in a second. This is where I decided to go back in with the antique Waverly wax. So I'm like, I'm not really digging the blue. It was just very blunt. So I felt like I had to go back in and distress over the whole sign. And then that's when it really started coming together, and it just pulled everything together. I feel like it looks so cute. So that's what I'm doing here. And then once I'm done, I'm going to lay the burlap back on top of that and then hot glue the buttons on all four corners. Then I'm taking this like patriotic welcome sign from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to remove the truck from the welcome in like the chain part. Not sure why I decided to try to cut metal with scissors, so yeah, don't do that. These are super easy to just bend and get off. Then I'm just taking some antique Waverly wax and of course the chip brush and just distressing the sides. I wish I would have like had cinnamon or something around me, because I thought that would have been cute to make this truck look like really, really rusted and old. But it does just look cute the way that I did it too, if you don't want to do that. But if that is something you would do, I just would take some like Mod Podge and just kind of put it in places that like a car would normally rest, and I think that would really be cute as well. So once I got that done, I'm going to hot glue the truck to the middle of the burlap. Next, I'm taking some red ribbon. This is from Michael's. It was on sale, so I'm just cutting different pieces of ribbon. I took some of that burlap. I took some white ribbon that was also from Michael's on sale, some red. I laid the burlap flat, and then I crisscrossed the other two colors. And then I was going to do like some white and red, the polka dots. I do end up doing them, but I was going to crisscross those together. But I decided to cut another strand of the white polka dot one and crisscross that one. And then I am going to lay the red one in the middle. But actually, I'm going to do it a little bit different. Usually I will go ahead and just take my raffia and cinch it that way. But I folded up my raffia and put the red polka dot one in with the raffia like it's on the front, and then cinched my bow that way. A lot of you, especially if you're new, ask me how I make my bows. I just feel like these are so simple. It's literally laying ribbon on top of each other and tying it. And then I like to go in and like split the raffia to make it look more fuller and just look like I used a lot more than I actually did. And then I'll trim off any like long pieces or pieces that are like stagger, you know, that shouldn't be there. And this piece, I just felt like this would look really cute on top. So, and then I'm going to go in and hot glue the bow to the top of this truck. And I think this turned out so cute, especially just taking items and just making it as I go. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces from today as well. And again, I never decorate for like red, white, and blue holidays. So I'm gonna have to now because I have so many cute pieces and I know that I'll probably make some more. So let me know which one is your favorite from today. So we always spend our Memorial Day weekend at our lake house with some family. So I wanted to share some pictures that we have taken since we've been here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you made it all the way to the end, leave a red, white, or blue emoji. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.